Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy V, the 4-job Fiesta for T&V Small Critter Rescue. Last episode, a meteorite crashed near the Worus tower here, and the king went to investigate, but apparently the king's been attacked by Galura. Galura is that elephant-looking thing that never attacked people. We got into a fight with it before and it just ran away. But now I guess it's being controlled by some evil power, and it's being bad, so we got some new enemies here, Recalled Mage in the back and Ice Soldier in the front. We want to try to cast Mute on all of them, specifically the Recalled Mage. They have a deadly drain attack, and can stop and put your characters to sleep. The Ice Soldiers also cast the Ice spell on you, but that's just doing damage. It's not going to incapacitate you like the Drain spell would or the Stop spell. So, we're just, like I said, try to get rid of that Recalled Mage first. And then we can take care of the Ice Soldiers. This is where a Black Mage would be nice, because they can just exploit all these elemental weaknesses, but we'll be able to start exploiting the elemental weaknesses once we get our next job, which we will get at the end of this episode. So, as you can see, a lot of enemies in here are going to require me to fast forward through the battles, because they're going to take a long time to take care of with these white mages. So, like I said, luckily we have plenty of healing, though, so this is a short little dungeon, but we're going to have to do a little bit of farming, because it's so short that you'll probably not get all the enemies if you don't try to, farm around a little bit. So there'll be some times when I'm just wandering around, stepping back and forth over the same area to pick up new monsters, so got a new silk robe here, 2 more defensive power. Yeah, so we have a grand defensive power of 6 on TNV there. So we got a nice save point here, which is good because I said we're gonna be farming for some monsters, so made a save there just to be safe. And now I'm gonna farm the remaining monsters. So one basically appears on this floor, starts appearing on this floor and above. So I want to grab it real quick here. And then there's another one that it seems to only appear on the next floor. So we're going to do farming on for that one. But here we go, the Padosul. This enemy and the next enemy we're going to meet, the Wyvern. We're going to use this strategy of casting armor on our characters, because these guys can hurt pretty bad, just like the Wyverns can, and we need that armor to basically double our defense, because we don't have much defense. So, these guys can also use a fin attack, and that poisons your character, so you want to heal that poison with the antidote spell. And we just take our time and finish these guys off. Instead, eventually, they'll fall. Just gotta keep hoping that TNV gets some good hits in there with the flail. He's our main offensive person here. So, if he gets a good hit in, he does more than all the other 3 combined. So, but yeah, the armor is basically going to make this run possible until we get our next characters, our next job. Without that armor spell, we'd be really hurting here. So, and here's the other enemy we want to run into, the Wyvern. So, these are the guys I think you can steal the dagger from. Or a new dagger from. So if you have thieves, they're a good class to fight. But we can't use them. We don't have anything to steal, so we're just going to take them out. I do a little bit of bad thing here. I should have concentrated my fire on split it out amongst both of them. But I ended up just concentrating all my fire on the one. And then what ended up happening was, once the one is by itself, it will start using that breath ring, which takes off 1/4 of your max hit points. So, luckily though, a cure spell basically is enough to heal everybody up. So, it's just annoying to have to heal so much. But after we defeat these monsters, we don't have any more to fight in here. There's one more that we can fight, but it's also available in another dungeon, so I'm not going to worry about farming it here. It's available in the tower in Worus Castle, so we'll get it there. But it doesn't matter. Like I said, if I wasn't going back here to save, That would be annoying because I would have lost a whole lot of MP. And we're going to need our MP for the boss battle coming up. It's going to be another one of those slog battles, very similar to with Forza that we had on the North Mountain in the last episode. Although this one is going to be a little bit tougher. It's going to be against the Galura monster, and this time it won't just stand there and take hits from us. So, but we'll be doing a lot of standing still and getting hit by it. The worst thing that thing can do is it casts one of its attacks. Inflicts the sap spell. I was going to say it casts a spell on you, but it doesn't cast a spell on you. Although if you have a blue mage and a white mage, you do want to cast Mute on Galura, because Galura can cast one spell, the Toad spell, but it only casts the Toad spell on itself to remove the Toad status. If you mute the Galura and then use the Frog Song, which is a blue magic spell you can learn from these frog enemies in this tower and then the tower in Worus Castle, you can turn Galura into a frog, and then he's just basically cake, because he'll try to unfrog himself by casting the Toad spell, but he can't because you muted him. And then you just beat him down with the Toad, because remember, usually when you're a Toad, your offense and your defense just basically drops down to 1. So, our offense might as well be 1 here, because it's going to take forever to bring this guy down. He gets really bad when he starts to get about halfway through his hit points. That's when he starts really abusing that attack to sap your characters, which is the gradual reduction of hit points. So, but as long as we're in the back row here, you'll eventually take him down. So you're gonna notice that a lot more resources are gonna go into healing when he gets like about halfway down, because then you're gonna start using that attack that will lower hit points, and he starts attacking more frequently. There it is, the rush attack. So as you can see, Lenna got hit with the rush, and she's losing for a few turns. She'll continue to lose hit points. So just gotta be careful. So yeah, pretty much he's countering every time we attack him, and then he also goes in that rush attack. So yeah, we gotta focus more of our resources on healing. But we're never gonna have TNV heal because they have the best weapon and can actually deal decent damage to Galura. If it gets to the point where though you need TNV to heal, because say your other white mages ran out of magic points, you would probably want to do like what I did in the ship graveyard, where I switched the flail to somebody else, and then just had I had Faris use the flail and TNV cast some healing. But luckily, because I saved before I fought Galura here, and used the tent to bring myself back up to max hit points and max MP, I didn't have to worry about running out of MP. So even though like we're losing a lot of MP for all this healing, white mages luckily have good MP growth, so we have plenty of MP to outlast. That's basically how we're gonna, how to beat these bosses. Basically just outlasting them. Slowly and steadily whittling their hit points down, and always being ready to heal our characters up. So I get like usually around like 80 hit points or so. That's when you probably want to do a single targeting cure to a character. Otherwise Galura can counter you and then hit you with the rush attack and then zap you, and that could drain your hit points really, really quick. So we're almost done there. 156 more to go, so that could be about 3 or 4 more hits depending on how well TNV does. And everybody else, of course, will help add on. Yeah, about 50 more hit points to go here. So we can theoretically 1 more hit with TNV. And we finished off Galura. And we get a high potion. Something we won't be able to buy for a long time. But more importantly, we are going to get our new job, the Mystic Knight, the Magic Knight. So just like the Wind Crystal, the Water Crystal shatters here in different pieces, and each of the pieces will give us a new job. You have to grab all the crystals. You can't just grab the one that you're assigned, because the exit to this place won't appear until you get all the crystals. Well, almost all the crystals. And you can't go out the way you came in because this guy, this warrior, decided to crawl over here and block the staircase down before he died. So, and he knows Galuf, but he can't give Galuf any more information about who he is to jot his memory, because he dies before he can tell him that information. He just leaves us with the mission to protect the fire crystal. See if we try to talk with this guy, it just says he's dead. And we're going to grab the crystal shards. We can't grab the one in the upper left because it is put on that ledge, and you'll see it in a little bit. That's a secret crystal that we'll get much later in the end of the game if you do a side quest. But we're going to get that later. Not that we can use that job, but we can use this new job, the Mystic Knight. But we don't have any really equipment for it yet. We're going to put them in the front row. We'll just keep T and V because he has the flail as a white mage. Because the job Fiesta says you have to have one character in each of the classes that you are allowed to have. So we have to keep one. From now on, we're going to have at least one white mage and one magic knight in our party at all times. Since we learned white 3 from being our time in the white mage, we can assign that ability to our mystic knights. So now our Mystic Knights, in addition to having their Mystic Sword ability, where they cast black magic spells, or, well, not always black magic, but cast spells on their swords to deal extra damage or deal extra effects. That blank spot in their command window, we can put the white 3 on, and they can cast white magic spells up to level 3. And we only have up to level 2 right now. We'll get level 3 in the next town. But yeah, so they'll basically be able to cast all the spells that we know. So, and they'll learn how to use like mystic swords. So eventually, put like mystic swords on the white mage. Not that it'll help the white mage, because the white mage can't use swords or daggers that you cast the magic thing on. But other classes will. So, like our one class, the dancer, the last class we get, they use knives. So they'll be good with the mystic sword ability. And here's Faris's friend Sildra here. So she survived the monster in the canal. Sildra used the last of your power to rescue us. Sildra, don't die. But yeah, she doesn't last too much longer. Like Lenna said, she's the last of her strength to save us one last time. If you're a summoner later on in the game, you can get Soldier as a summon. But we don't have that ability, so yeah, we're stuck. But I will get that Soldier summon, because like I said, I'm 100% in the game, so I'll get all the treasures and stuff, all the extra stuff. So if you have a summoner in your party, you'll be able to use it. So Soldier likes to deposit us back on the beach, right near our Hiryu. So we're going to fly back to Worus town here. And mainly just flying back here to get some equipment. Because as you saw when we changed jobs, our Mystic Knights basically had nothing. So let's grab a bunch of iron equipment for them. If we would have had that Mithril helmet, I sold it though for some money. You could equip that. That's a little bit better than the iron. Mithril equipment we're going to start getting access to in the next town. So we're not going to be without that for too long. But it's good to be able to get some things. We're going to move the leather shoes and put the silver bracelet on T and V. That way at least Faris can have an item. Grab some weaponry now. So yeah, our Mystic Knights, they can actually use swords, so we're going to pick up some swords. Now those ice soldiers. They're in the tower in the castle. You can fight them, and they can drop a long sword, which is a little bit better than the regal sword. I actually may do some farming to try to get them, because in a little bit, there's going to be a dungeon where it's timed, and I always like to level grind just so I can beat the monsters really quickly in that dungeon, so that I can get 100%. Because if you can't, if you're not really strong, the battle's going to take way too long, and you won't have enough time to gather all the treasure. And like I said, I want to get 100%. So, in all the previous Fiestas, I've always done a little bit of level grinding. So, I'll probably do maybe a little bit of level grinding, maybe get those long swords. So, but that'll be in the next episode. So, take care, have a good one, see you around. Bye.